ABBYY FlexiCapture Scanning Station. We'll talk about creating batch types in ScanStation, batch type properties, scripting in ScanStation, and finally, the web scanning station. There's a simple workflow in ScanStation where we first create a new empty batch. At that point, we can either scan with an attached scanner or add images to the batch manually or from a folder. Then we can pre-process those images if they need any enhancement before we send the batch to FlexiCapture usually. We can also send to a folder or an FTP site. An administrator can create ScanStation batch types, and once again, a batch type specifies things such as which scanner images are coming from and which FlexiCapture project the images are pointing to. One or more batch types could be created by the administrator and then exported to a server or saved locally, but there's an advantage to saving the batch types to a server because when an operator starts up ScanStation, a setting can be made where the latest batch types can be imported automatically. So scanner operators are always using the latest version of the batch types created by an administrator. An operator can optionally edit those batch types, and the use of the batch types certainly speeds up their work. Batch types have a number of properties pictured here with the tabs. Here we're looking at the settings for sending to FlexiCapture, and these batch type settings are saved as an XML file by the administrator. Images can suffer from going through a dirty scanner. So a verification operator may notice that images are degraded. There may be lines going through the text that needs to be OCR'd, and they can send a batch with those kinds of problems to a rescan queue in the verification station. When that happens, the scanning operator is notified. They see thumbnails of the images, and their steps should be to clean the scanner, identify the problem. They're also notified of what the batch number is. They need to retrieve, after they clean the scanner, the images and rescan them, and then they'll be sent to verification again. This can be used either for an entire batch or for documents within the batch. ScanStation allows scripting. We can create event scripts, and event scripts can do things like pre-fill registration parameters. We can build send scripts, and one example of a send script, it might go out and grab an image that's used as a batch cover sheet. So that could be an automated process, or perhaps it could simultaneously send the scan batch to two places. Let's look at the interface a little bit there. Finally, we have a web scanning station. With the web scanning station, we can do what we do with the thick client. We can use Twain, ISIS, or WIA scanners. We can do image enhancement, and we can add files on the fly. There's PDF support. Documents can be assembled in ScanStation, whether it's the web ScanStation or the thick client. And registration parameters can be filled. And with the web scanning station or the thick client, we can schedule when batches are sent. So we may want to schedule scan batches to be sent at quiet times for the network. So we talked about ScanStation batch types. They're predefined scanning profiles that allow batches to be sent with all of the prerequisite materials. Batch types can be propagated to scan stations by exporting them to an XML file, and then they're automatically ingested. So scanner operators are always using the latest batch types. Sending can be scheduled. And finally, we can use custom scripts to facilitate, say, adding a batch cover sheet.